Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Big news out of Washington today. The U.S. Senate has just approved a major funding package that's expected to officially end the longest government shutdown in American history. After more than 40 days of gridlock, late-night negotiations, and political infighting, lawmakers have finally struck a deal, though not everyone is happy about it. On Monday, the Senate passed the measure in a 60-40 vote, with 7 Democrats and 1 independent breaking from their party to join all Republicans in supporting the bill. That bipartisan move sparked outrage across much of the Democratic base, especially since the final deal leaves out one of their biggest priorities, an extension of healthcare tax credits under the Affordable Care Act. The compromise, which now heads to the House for approval, will fund most federal agencies through January 30th, 2026, keeping the government open for at least the next 14 months. It also guarantees back pay for the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who've gone without paychecks since the shutdown began, and it temporarily halts any further layoffs or reductions in the federal workforce until the end of January. The legislation includes several long-term funding provisions for key departments, including Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, the FDA, and Congressional Operations, ensuring critical services continue without further disruption. From the Oval Office, President Donald Trump said he supports the deal and plans to sign it once it reaches his desk. "We're going to be opening up our country very quickly," he said, calling the agreement a very good deal for America. Trump's approval gives the package strong momentum heading into the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson has already urged lawmakers, many of whom have been away during the shutdown, to return to Washington for a swift vote. But here's where things get heated. The bill doesn't include a renewal of the ACA premium tax credits that millions of Americans rely on to afford their health insurance. Those credits are set to expire at the end of the year, and without them, premiums could spike or coverage could be lost for many families. Democrats say they agreed to move forward only because Republican leaders promised a separate Senate vote on healthcare subsidies in December. Still, many in the party aren't convinced that vote will actually happen, and some activists are furious. Progressive groups have blasted the 8 senators who broke ranks to help Republicans pass the measure, calling it a surrender. Even Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who opposed the bill, is facing backlash from his own base, with some demanding he step down for not holding the line. Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire defended her yes vote, saying, "This was the only deal on the table. It was our best chance to reopen the government and start negotiations to extend the ACA tax credits." But others in her party weren't so forgiving. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin blasted the compromise after her own amendment to extend healthcare subsidies for 1 year was rejected by Republicans. "A handshake deal with no guarantee to lower costs is simply not good enough," she said. Speaker Mike Johnson has refused to promise any future House vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies, saying only that the House will follow its normal deliberative process. In plain terms, that means no guarantees. Meanwhile, the effects of this record-breaking shutdown have been devastating. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers miss paychecks. Millions of Americans face delays in food assistance programs. Air traffic controllers, TSA staff, and other essential workers warned of severe strain across the transportation system, raising fears of travel chaos during the holidays. Transportation officials called the situation unsustainable and urged Congress to act before major travel disruptions hit the public. So here's the bottom line. The Senate's vote marks a major step towards ending the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, but the political fallout, especially over healthcare, is far from over. Democrats are divided, Republicans are holding firm, and Americans are still waiting for a final vote from the House to bring the shutdown to an official close. And that's where things stand tonight. The Senate has acted, the White House is ready, and all eyes are now on the House of Representatives. So what's your take? Was this a smart compromise? Or did Democrats give up too much to reopen the government? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.